Have you ever imagined the heart-wrenching anguish that would consume you if your child were to suddenly vanish without a trace? You've always been there for her, but one day, perhaps while you briefly diverted your attention to answer an urgent call, someone snatches her away, leaving you powerless to prevent it. If you're a parent, you likely understand the sheer agony such a situation can inflict. Before we continue, please take some time to subscribe to Dailydose, like, and share this video with your friends. It's an indescribable pain that no one should ever have to endure. Our story begins in Colombia during a scorching afternoon in 1950. A 4-year-old girl named Marina Chapman was kidnapped and taken away from her family forever. Her story came to light in 2013 through a book published by Marina herself, captivating readers and raising many questions about the mystery surrounding her disappearance and her life afterward. But before delving into the details of her remarkable journey, let's travel back in time to the exact moment when Marina Chapman's life and that of her family was irrevocably altered by an unexpected abduction. Marina was born into a wealthy family in southeast Bogotá, Colombia. Marina's life until the age of 4 could be described as a fairy tale, a stark contrast to the pervasive poverty and crime in Colombia. Being born into affluence was a rarity, and it attracted envy and resentment from those less fortunate. Her family was one of the most powerful and influential in the Latin American coffee trade. They owned coffee plantations across the country, earning a substantial income. Their lives were idyllic, but were overshadowed by the constant awareness of the danger they were in, as they had previously received threats. Marina was an only child, which made her more vulnerable and reduced the kidnappers' options for a lucrative ransom. However, they had never experienced a direct threat until that fateful day. Everything seemed to be going well as her father retreated indoors to attend to an urgent work call. Tragically, the feared event occurred. There was no one else in the house that day except for her father and her mother, who was away. Minutes later, Marina was playing with her dollhouse in the back garden when a black van pulled up near the garden's wall. A hooded man climbed over the wall, snatched Marina, and used chloroform to subdue her. Within minutes, the kidnapper had vanished into the forest, leaving Marina's father helpless. For weeks, her father searched, but Marina was nowhere to be found. They contacted the police, suspecting a kidnapping and hoping for a ransom demand, but none came. Despite months of police searching, Marina remained missing with no ransom note ever received. All indications pointed to a personal motive behind Marina's kidnapping. It was an act of revenge, with the family's wealth playing a minor role. The sole objective was to inflict maximum pain, robbing them of what they cherished most. As time passed, they reluctantly accepted that they might never see Marina again and even held a funeral. But Marina had not perished. On the day of her abduction, she awoke in the heart of the jungle, carried by the same hooded man who had taken her from her home. Suddenly, a commotion sent the man fleeing, dropping Marina. She lay motionless, fearing that any noise might give her away to the kidnappers. Exhausted, she fell asleep. The next morning, she awoke to the gaze of monkeys surrounding her. These primates were far from friendly. One of them pounced on her, tugging at her hair, causing her to stifle a scream. The monkeys' curiosity intensified as they prodded and scratched her. For over 10 agonizing minutes, Marina screamed, but there was no one to hear her. Eventually, the monkeys tired of her and withdrew, realizing she was neither food nor a threat. Marina was alone in the Colombian jungle, surrounded by these curious capuchin monkeys. Uncertain of her next steps, Marina followed her instincts in search of food. She emulated the monkeys, learning to navigate the jungle, find food, make rudimentary beds, and climb trees. It was a grueling process, particularly for a small child, but she persisted, and eventually she became an accepted part of the monkey troop. Not everything Marina experienced during her years in the jungle was challenging. At around age 11 or 12, she encountered poachers, growling to protect the troop she had grown to accept as her family. The hunters captured her and forced her into a life of prostitution. Years later, Marina managed to escape this harrowing existence. However, adapting back to human life was not without its difficulties. She had nearly forgotten how to behave as a human and had to learn to adjust to a complex social human society. Despite the many hardships, Marina's life took a positive turn at around age 16 when she was adopted by a Yorkshire family who loved and protected her regardless of her enigmatic past. In England, she met John Chapman, a respected scientist whom she married 6 months later. The couple went on to have a daughter, Vanessa. While life wasn't without its challenges, it gradually became more normal, considering the extraordinary circumstances. But Marina's indomitable spirit and resilience allowed her to emerge from a remarkable ordeal and inspire hope in all who have experienced loss and despair. Marina's story stands as a testament to the human spirit's capacity for resilience and hope, even in the face of seemingly insurmountable adversity. Her journey is a striking reminder that genuine happiness can be found, even after overcoming significant obstacles and enduring tremendous hardship. Did you find this extraordinary and touching story engaging? If so, we invite you to share your thoughts and opinions in the comments below.